Chapter 1. When dinosaurs were nothing like we ever imagined. For most of human history, dinosaurs have lived more vividly in our imagination than in reality. We picture them as gigantic reptiles, slow, clumsy, cold-blooded beasts with thick, scaly skin, roaring endlessly as they dominate a brutal, prehistoric world. This image did not come from science. It came from early discoveries, limited fossils, and decades of myth-making. But modern paleontology has revealed something far more unsettling and far more fascinating. Dinosaurs were not monsters. They were one of the most sophisticated evolutionary experiments Earth has ever produced. And the deeper scientists look into the fossil record, the clearer one truth becomes. The strangest dinosaurs were not exceptions, they were the rule. Dinosaurs were never just big reptiles. The word dinosaur itself often leads us astray. Dinosaurs were not simply oversized lizards. They belonged to a distinct group of vertebrates defined by upright posture with legs positioned directly beneath the body, specialized hip and ankle joints optimized for efficient movement, highly adaptable body plans capable of extreme variation. This design allowed dinosaurs to evolve in directions no other land animals ever had. Some became giants weighing tens of tons. Others became agile hunters lighter than a human. Some grew armor frills, sails, feathers, and shapes that defy logic even today. From the very beginning, dinosaurs were built for experimentation. The dinosaur world was a lab of evolution. During the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods, Earth became a biological pressure cooker. Global temperatures were warm. Oxygen levels were higher than today. Vast forests stretched across continents. Food resources were abundant, but fiercely contested. Evolution did not reward balance or familiarity. It rewarded innovation. In a world where survival could shift in a single generation, natural selection pushed dinosaurs into extreme forms. Not because they were grotesque, but because they worked. Every spike, claw, sail, feather, and horn served a purpose. And when familiar shapes failed, evolution tried something else. When strange meant survival, consider this. Some dinosaurs evolved claws longer than a human arm, not to hunt, but to pull down trees. Others developed wings long before true flight was possible. Some wore elaborate crests and frills, not for defense, but for communication display and dominance. Others grew feathers not for flying, but to regulate temperature and send visual signals. In the dinosaur world, being unusual was often the safest strategy. The animals that blended in were easy prey. The ones that evolved something completely unexpected gained an advantage. Strangeness was not a flaw, it was a defensive weapon. Hollywood's greatest misunderstanding. Popular culture taught us that dinosaurs were loud, violent, and primitive. In reality, evidence suggests some dinosaurs hunted silently. Many lived in social structures. Some cared for their young. Some may have used complex visual communication. Fossilized nesting sites show coordinated colony behavior. Bone growth patterns suggest fast metabolisms. Brain cavity analyses hint at higher intelligence than once assumed. Dinosaurs were not dumb brutes. They were strategic animals shaped by relentless competition. Why dinosaurs could afford to be weird. One crucial factor made this explosion of bizarre forms possible. Time. Dinosaurs ruled Earth for over 160 million years. No mammals, no humans, no rivals capable of challenging their dominance on land. With so much time and ecological space, dinosaurs diversified aggressively. Evolution did not need to be cautious. It could experiment and fail repeatedly. And for every failed form that vanished, another unexpected shape succeeded. The dangerous edge of specialization. But extreme specialization came with a hidden cost. The more a dinosaur's body was fine-tuned for one lifestyle, the less flexible it became when conditions changed. A long neck worked perfectly until food vanished. A massive body dominated until energy demands became too great. A strange wing or sail thrived until climate patterns shifted. The same forces that allowed dinosaurs to become extraordinary would later leave many of them vulnerable. The clue hiding in plain sight. One group of dinosaurs embraced small-size feathers and adaptability. They refined balance instead of bulk. They favored speed over strength. They evolved feathers that gradually became wings. These dinosaurs did not vanish. They changed form. Today they are everywhere. Birds are not distant relatives of dinosaurs. They are dinosaurs. Living proof that survival favors the flexible, not the dominant. Why study the strangest dinosaurs? Understanding the weirdest dinosaurs is not about curiosity alone. It answers deeper questions. Why does evolution take such extreme paths? Why does nature sometimes favor inefficiency? Why do dominant species disappear while smaller ones endure? Dinosaurs teach us that success in evolution is temporary. Adaptation is everything, and no form, no matter how powerful, is permanent. Closing thought. The strangest dinosaurs were not mistakes. They were solutions. Each odd shape was an answer to a specific problem in a world long gone. And in studying them, we are not simply learning about ancient creatures. We are learning about life itself, how it experiments, risks, fails, adapts, and survives. Because long before humans questioned the rules of nature, dinosaurs were already breaking them. Chapter 2. Dinosaurs that defied nature when evolution went strange. If Chapter 1 revealed that dinosaurs were never what we imagined, then Chapter 2 forces us to confront a more unsettling truth. Some dinosaurs were so strange that even modern science struggled to believe they were real. These were not mistakes. They were not deformed curiosities. They were successful evolutionary solutions, answers to survival problems in worlds utterly different from ours. To understand them, we must abandon the idea that evolution follows a logical or predictable path. Because during the age of dinosaurs, nature experimented wildly. Evolution does not create beauty, it creates function. Modern creatures appear balanced and familiar because millions of unsuccessful forms came before them. Dinosaurs lived in the middle of that experimentation phase. During the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods, ecosystems were crowded and competitive. Predators and prey were evolving simultaneously. Food resources shifted constantly. Climate and geography were unstable. Under these conditions, evolution took risks. When one strategy stopped working, dinosaurs didn't refine it. They abandoned it altogether and tried something completely different. That is how the strangest dinosaurs were born. The Therizinosaurus, the monster that ate plants. At first glance, Therizinosaurus looks like a predator from nightmares. Massive body, long neck, tiny head, and claws reaching nearly 1 meter in length. Early scientists believed it was a carnivore. No herbivore they assumed would need weapons like these. They were wrong. Therizinosaurus was a plant eater. Those claws were not designed to kill. They were tools. Likely used to pull down tall vegetation, slice through dense foliage, defend against predators without engaging in direct combat. In a world where food competition was fierce, being tall was not enough. You needed reach. The Therizinosaurus didn't outrun danger. It didn't overpower enemies. It kept them at a distance. This dinosaur wasn't strange by accident. It was precisely specialized for its environment. YQI, when dinosaurs experimented with flight. Few fossils have shocked scientists more than Yichi. Small, feathered and fragile-looking Yichi broke every assumption about how flight evolved. Unlike birds or pterosaurs, Yichi did not rely on feathered wings alone. Instead, it had a long rod-like bone extending from the wrist, a membrane of skin stretched between limbs. Essentially, Yichi flew like a bat. This was not a stepping stone to birds. It was a separate experiment in flight. Evolution was trying two different solutions at once. Feather-based lift, membrane-based lift. Yichi represents the branch that failed. Not because it was bad, but because it couldn't compete once ecosystems shifted. In its time, however, Yichi was a viable answer to moving through dense forests while avoiding predators. Microraptor, the four-winged dinosaur. Flight did not begin with wings the way we know them. Microraptor proves that. The small dinosaur had feathers on its arms, feathers on its legs, feathers forming four distinct aerodynamic surfaces. It did not flap powerfully like modern birds. Instead, it glided. Microraptor moved through Jurassic forests, the way flying squirrels do today, launching from tree to tree. This strategy allowed it to escape ground predators, access different food sources, live in vertical layers of the forest. Microraptor shows that flight evolved messily through overlapping and unconventional designs. Not everything was streamlined, not everything was efficient, but it worked long enough. Why these shapes seem impossible to us. To modernize these dinosaurs look absurd. That's because we judge them using modern ecosystems as reference. But dinosaur-era ecosystems were fundamentally different. Predators were larger. Vegetation was denser. Atmospheres supported higher activity levels. Competition existed across every height, depth, and size class. In that world, being enormous was sometimes safer. Being tiny was sometimes smarter. Being strange was often the only option. Evolution does not aim for elegance. It aims for survival in the moment. Experimentation meant high risk. For every bizarre dinosaur we know, dozens more failed. They left no descendants, no living legacy. Fossils show a pattern, rapid diversification, sudden disappearance. Many strange forms existed only briefly in geological time before vanishing. This tells us something critical. The The dinosaur world was unstable. Under the surface of dominance, it was a constant arms race. Innovation kept dinosaurs alive, but it also made them fragile. Specialization, the double-edged sword. Extreme traits offered competitive advantages, but they also locked dinosaurs into narrow ecological roles. If the environment changed, specialized feeders starved. Narrow locomotion styles failed. Unusual body plans became liabilities. The very adaptations that made dinosaurs successful in one era became death sentences in another. The winners were the flexible ones. Among all this chaos, one group quietly refined a different approach. Small dinosaurs with feathers, lightweight bodies, high adaptability. They avoided extreme specialization. They improved balance, mobility, and flexibility. These dinosaurs did not dominate by size or intimidation. They survived by being ready for change. And when disaster struck the planet, they endured. Today they are birds. Closing thought. The strangest dinosaurs were not evolutionary mistakes. They were innovations pushed to their limits. Some succeeded spectacularly until the world shifted beneath them. Others failed quickly. But together they proved something humble. Nature does not care what looks logical, efficient, or beautiful. It only cares what works right now. And in the dinosaur age, what worked was often stranger than fiction. Chapter 3. Why dinosaurs became so weird. Evolution under extreme pressure. At first glance, the strangest dinosaurs seemed like nature's mistakes. Claws longer than swords. Bodies shaped like mismatched parts. Wings that could not truly fly. Herbivores that looked more terrifying than predators. But these forms did not emerge randomly. They were the result of evolution under extreme pressure. To understand why dinosaurs became so weird, we must stop thinking of evolution as a slow, gentle process. During the age of dinosaurs, evolution was relentless